p.m. Central European time. If we talk about times, that's what we're talking about. The first of 3 men's semi-finals. It's the C1M500. If you go back to basics, they're in canoes, they're kneeling, and they're going to be paddling, well, for a while, and we have to see who with the top in the heat. Who is the favourites in this race? As a guide, lanes 4, 5 and 6 pretty much show you who's expected to do well. I suppose the standout name, one of the pin-up boys, especially for Czech canoeing, is Martin Fuchser, third generation of top paddlers there. But Siwan Chen, and he, in your picture, his first year in his World Cups, he came 8th in Montium, I believe, and 5th in Copenhagen is coming through. Oleg Tavoshki, again, he's had some good results this season coming down. He's in Duisburg, he had his best results so far this season, and become some good competitors. Martin Fuchser, one of the Red Bull guys. You know, if you're Red Bull, you have a big personality and you tend to win. They certainly know what they're doing, and more sponsors the better, please.
Yeah, Martin Fuchser definitely on this lineup looks like the favourite here. He'll definitely be challenged by the Chinese athlete though. Possibly the Serb as well. I'm not sure how the French athlete is.
And they're coming from all nations. 86 nations are going to be absolutely represented in this regatta over the next 3 days. We've had a wonderful Paralympic qualification, some great victories, some real exciting stuff going on in the last 3 days. Well done everyone who's taken part, and it's been great to see. And that's certainly with coming in the Rio Games, there's been some quota places given out over there. The French, Romain Bugnet, he has a good reputation. He wants to be one of the top 4 or 5. The French have had a really lousy qualification so far, especially in the kayaking section. Cyril Carey missed out, Sarah Guyot missed out in their different events. A couple of the boys have gone through with big Mathieu Goubel. He's going to be in the C1 1000 latter stages. Torres here. From Chile, it's great to see we have athletes from all 5 countries, and it's important to have athletes from different continents for the qualifications, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the continental qualification is really where it's at. It's very difficult to explain, really. As Matt has said, you got to go in intricate detail there of how the actual athletes will qualify and how some haven't qualified but yet will qualify on a count-back scenario. First of the heats is just about to take off. They're on the lineup for the C1M500 semi-finals.
So there's going to be 3 semi-finals, 1, 2, 3 semi-finals. Is that right? And the first 3 go directly to the. So it's not about the times who they give down, who does what. It's a case of the first 3 across the line are actually going to be
1 to 3 and 3 to 6. That's what they're looking for
to go through to the B final tomorrow.
Martin Fuchs has taken it out hard there, the first sort of 75-80 metres. Followed closely by the Chinese athlete.
Fuchs is the current European champion and also had some good results. He came 3rd last year in Moscow in the actual final there. That's the one was dominated by Cruz dos Santos from Brazil, but it looks like he certainly can see from your pictures in the yellow tip boat, and he's taking it out at quite a fast pace at the moment. Time of reference is you'd want to do it in about 150 in total.
About 150, yeah, with these conditions definitely it's going to be quick. There's a small tailwind there, and as we said, the weather is very hot, good warm water, all the right conditions for doing a good time here. Martin Fuchs has just gone through the lead of 51 second 250, come down to the last 200 metres there. There's 3 athletes away from the rest of the field.
Well, it looks like he's almost managing the race.
He's in control, but the Chinese athlete isn't letting him away. He's staying within half a length with him. The 3rd place athlete there is the Moldovan Oleg Tarnashi, who's staying in contention to guarantee his 3rd spot to qualify into the A final.
Well, look at the boys going across. The white ones are 100 metres to go, so it's 75 metres to go. Down to the last 50 metres. It's going to be first for fast and furious for the 1st place. It looks like Martin Fuchs is going to hold on. Coming the last 25 metres, well, it's certainly going to be close for the victory. I say the first 3 go through. First one is going to be Fuchser. Secondly, it's from Moldavia, Oleg Tarnowski.
Yeah, and 4th and 5th, and it's going to be very close for 6th place to get that final spot in the B final between lane 8 and 2, and that is Tajikistan and the French athlete Romain Begnaud.
Well, it's gone to credit. Bit of a flash Harry, this chap, isn't he? Drives around in his smart BMW, and if you follow Facebook and Twitter, he's not shy about showing images of himself.
No, he's a good athlete. He's a good face for the sport, though, as well. And as you said, he's also one of the Red Bull sponsored athletes, so he's well renowned.
And with father and grandfather also being top international racers, I guess it's in the blood.
Oh, definitely, yeah. He's come through very strong from a young age there at junior level into under 23, and he's competing here in the senior level.
Well, let's make a note of that. 145 is the reference point so far. But it's not always, as a sport, it's a tactical sport, so they don't always go flat out, do they? As we've seen a few athletes.
No, I don't think, in this case, I don't think anyone went through from the heat, so everyone made it through on position to the semi-finals. So everyone here is fighting for position again. There's no qualification on time basis here. It's 1 to 3 and 3 to 6.
Well, they come off the water, they go to boat control where it's tested. Here are the results of the first race. It's Fuchse for the Czech Republic, takes it. 4.4 second, it's Tarnowski and Serbia come through, given the third place, which is...
very strong finish there by Serbia.
And so why is it important to go in the B final? Well, you're saying, is that just for personal pride, or does that count for your...
Oh, well, in some countries, you know, it works on their, what they call their cardinal granting system. So the higher rank you get, the higher up you get, possibly in their state funding or your funding for next season. So, you know, your 1 to 9 is your top 9 athletes in the A final, and then your 10 to 18 then is your next 9. So they'll be looking to close in on that top 10 position as much as possible. Most of those athletes will be fighting to get as highly ranked as possible.
Well, they're lining up for the final. The Hungarians, they've been switching their team a little bit around in the last year or so, but if you're representing your country in Hungary, you're good.
Yeah, you don't make the team easily in Hungary, that's for sure, yeah. There's a lot of calibre and quality there over the years.
This is C. Pietru. He's a very known athlete from Belarus. They have 5 or 6 athletes that have been around a long time that are actually really good. Spain have a great position, mainly to do with David Cal, I guess, in the last 8 or 10 years.
Yeah, he set a great standard there.
And lane number 8 from
India, is it? I think it's the Indian athlete, yeah. Looking at the Georgian athlete there in lane 1, Murman Malani.
We do see some sort of, and there's Hussein Klada from, of course, Tunisia. We do see a great, probably more of a range here than the World Cups, because everyone who can come pretty much comes, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is where all the countries turn up, and especially this is like the Olympic qualification. So every country who competes will definitely make the journey to be here.
Most teams have been arriving in the last week. A lot of the teams that come over from Asia, Australasia, have actually been around here in Europe for the last 6 or 8 weeks.
Yeah, a lot of them would base themselves, you know, get over the jet lag.
Everything is ready for the start of the second semi-final of the C1M.
Yeah, we're on the start line now. We're under starters' orders there. So the second semi-final C1M 500 meters. Just been held just for short while. Stewart's white flags have been raised there.
So, and the rules are, if it's 2 false starts by the same athlete, you're out, aren't you?
That's it, yeah.
As Rennie Paulson, unfortunately, in the K2 1000,
yeah,
we saw
a
that
very
yesterday.
unfortunate scenario there for René and Niels, Danish K2 1000 meters.
Well, it looks like Adrian Ciro from Spain is showing early.
Strong start there by the Spaniard, all right, but he's followed closely. There's a good 4 or 5 athletes there staying within half a length of him, so a bit early to say who's going to take it on, but there is definitely a push there from lane 5, the Belarusian athlete Maxim Pietro, who's...
Well, he's possibly the pedigree name in this format. Here's it. Lane number 6, that's Adrian Sierra. Well, this is not an Olympic event. It's perhaps it doesn't have the prestige as a lot of the athletes use it for training, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of the athletes, definitely the men's kayak K1 will double up and do the 1,000 and 500 meters. It is, as I said, the former Olympic event that was of the last Olympics in Beijing in 2008. But you're still fighting for a world championship here, though, at the end of the day. So
and with
there's a lot to fight for.
125 meters to go, we do have a race on our hands. It looks like Pietru from Belarus is pulling ahead in the red boat at the top of your picture. The yellow tip boat, Sierra from Spain, is still making a fight of it. A lefty and a righty. Not sure it makes much difference today. They're not going to go and kill themselves, I suggest, but it looks like Pietru in lane number 5 is making a statement.
The Hungarian lane 4 is holding on for that third place.
David Korosgansky coming third, but no doubt about the winner, led from pillar to post. It's Maxim Pietru.
Oh, and we have a swimmer in lane 2 there. The Ukrainian athlete just fell in. He was in contention to fight for that 6th place, but unfortunately, he obviously lost his balance.
Well, the boats need to come and pick them up. I know there's a story in at the Europeans in Baku with Korkashkov. He fell in over the line in his C2 and apparently had to be in the water about 10 minutes, and he was touch and go whether he was going to die. His blood pressure went down. He was first aid for like an hour or so.
I remember seeing that. Yeah, they were quite worried about him at one stage there, but he had really pushed himself to the limit. So
the water was only 10 degrees at the time, so that's why it's a shock. It's a terrific shock.
I think he owes his partner a lot of credit there. I think he kept him in contact with the boat, so he could get his breath back and wait for the rescue boat to get him back on land to the first aid tent there.
Well, 148 point, we digress, which is not a problem. We're coming to you live from the Idro-Scala Regatta course, and it was made in 1930 as a base to land seaplanes. That market really didn't take off, so they've made it into a leisure activity, and it's a lovely facility. It's improved a lot since last year, where we had the first World Cup here. All the weeds have been cleared out. For you, Pete, as the conditions here, how would you see them?
Oh, the conditions are pretty good now, I have to say, now this afternoon.
I'll see a question. I'm just going to break you off. We do see the results here. We see Maxim Pietru for Belarus coming through in 1:48, 3 seconds slower than the last semi-final, with Spain and Hungary taking 2nd and 3rd place quite closely by. Yeah. So let's go back to the conditions, though.
Yeah, no, there's a small tailwind, as we've already said here today. The conditions are really good. There has been a bit of a problem with the weeds out in the water, and there are a few of the rescue boats and ICF officials who will oblige and clear the athletes' rudders, or some of your own fellow team members or team manager are paddling out there to assist there. Definitely in the longer races, it's quite a disadvantage if you do catch some of those weeds. But it hasn't been too bad. They have had people out sweeping the water surface there, so they've been trying to just lift as many of them off as possible.
We do have someone called Sebastian Brendel in this race. In 1,000 metres, a long time since he's been beaten. He's also done pretty good results recently in the 500 metres. As clearly Brendel, the giant from Germany, with Olympic gold, World Championship gold in the 1,000 metres. But we have some other good, strong contenders as well. Mikhail Pavlov is also in the mix from Russia. He's going to be certainly wanting to put a good performance in. We have Mikhail Kudler from Poland, who's wanting to be doing something special as well. Well, there's Brendel individual. Let's follow through the athletes.
Brendel is definitely the man to beat as far as I can see this lane 5. I would be expecting him to do a close on similar time to Joseph or Martin Fuchs there from the first heat of a 1:45. He'll be pushed hard though by the Polish athlete, I think, Michael Kudla, and then the Russian on the other side of him there, Mikhail Pavlov. Just having in shot there the Australian athlete Marius Florin. Also the local Italian is getting a bit of a cheer here. Lane 7, Carlo Taccini.
I'm absolutely delighted that the Hungarians have moved. They were actually below us yesterday, and they make it's flattering them, but they make a wonderful noise.
They're about 50 metres up from us, I think, now.
Well, yeah, they've been moved on, which is good for commentary.
Definitely, yeah. They can get quite deaf. There's a lot of drums and fanfare, trumpets there.
Well, in Russia last year in Moscow, we're in a beautiful building on the 4th floor covered with glass, so we actually had our own enclosed place. Here we're in the top of the grandstand, so we can take in all the atmosphere. It does mean we can see everything that's going on as well, which I guess is the idea, to let you at home know what's going on.
Yeah, we have a good view. We've definitely got a good view down to the 500. I don't know for the thousands a bit into the distance from here. But as you say, we're on the third semi-final here. The guys are in the start gates and they're up.
As you can see, Brendel in the middle doesn't always have the fastest time at the start, but normally takes over a third of the way through and says it's my race. But at the moment he's looking good with Ticini from Italy wanting to get some local support with the colours on the front of his boat, which gives away his nationality.
Yeah, the Italians have come out in strength here to support their own and support everyone in general. There's a great atmosphere here in the stadium, and even yesterday on a Thursday and a Friday. You see Sebastian Brendel is stretching it out, but there's 3 or 4 athletes who are staying with them. They're not letting them get too far in front. The Italian definitely is. He's up for it, Carlo Ticini there, lane 7. Only 20 years of age.
Well, they're approaching the halfway state, and it's anyone's game at the moment. As you can see, Brendel slightly slow, I believe, in the first semi-final. So it's as we expected, maybe Germany, Italy. It'd be interesting to see if they have the staying power, and Russia, as you'd expect.
Ticini seems to be taking it to Brendel. He's marginally in front, but yet we still have 150 metres to go. Also in close contention, the far side of Sebastian Brendel is the Russian Mikhail Pavlov. He seems to be holding on to the third position there for the A final.
Well, will it be pride that brings Brendel through? He possibly has been here hundreds of times before. Normally he comes away in the last 50 metres. We do have 50 metres to go. It's controlled by Brendel. He's upping his stroke rate. Ticini's keeping there in second place. It's going to be quite a battle for third place, but it looks like at the top of your screen.
Very powerful finish there, but Sebastian Brendel laying it down there. Ticini delighted to make second place into that A final, followed by the Russian in third place.
Well, it's good for the local crowd that Italy manages to put an athlete through.
Yeah, absolutely. Delighted arms in the air there.
Well, time of 1:47. So first semi-final with Fuchs winning in 1:45, second one 1:48, third one 1:47. So I guess it doesn't really tell us much about how they're going to perform in the finals, but it's good to see that Brendel is on form.
I think he was in control there. Looking at him here, he's just coming into bow control there. He had to work for it, but I don't think he had to work too hard for it.
When we saw him in Moscow last year in the epic battle where Cruz de Santos and him lunged for the line, and he said he's never been so exhausted all his life. He looks a lot more at ease now.
Yeah. He paced it quite well there, you know. He let everyone come up, and then when he had to make his move, he made it, and he was quite convincing there at the finish.
Well, that's the first section over and out of the way. That is the C1M500 semi-finals. We're going to move on now. It's had a bit of a break for a selfie there. I'm sorry. We had to move. Well done, Pete. We have to move on now to the next category, which is going to be the men's K1 500 meters, and this is the one that used to be an Olympic event. A lot of people are depressed. It's not, as you can see. We've read out 3 or 4 times the actual winners of the last C1